welcome to the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary. This is your host, ScottyB. Follow us here on YouTube for weekly videos in cosplay to talk about fandoms, get into interviews, tips on how to build your cosplay brand, and of course, always a safe space for you to share your stories and what motivates you to stay active within the community and contribute to our cause to bring cosplayers together in this space. With me on the show this week, everybody, is your bright and shiny co-host, Astrovoid Cosplay. Astra, it's been an interesting couple of weeks, to say the least. How are you doing? I know you've had some shoots. I know you've been to Disney. There's been a lot going on TikTok.
Yes, so it's definitely been a while. It's been an interesting bit. I've been trying my best to work on stuff that not only I enjoy but everybody else can enjoy. Been trying to find the happy medium. I did take a bit of a break for some things, and yeah, I did. I went to Disney. I haven't been since I was 6, and it was great. So there was Disney. TikTok has been a little odd. I'm gonna be honest. I was rooting for you, TikTok, and now you're suppressing me a lot like every other creator right now. So
yeah, I mean, I'm good with TikTok. I haven't posted anything on TikTok, and people still keep following me, so I'm excited about that.
you're just, man, people just love you. You're just blowing up.
I've got like 45 followers now. It's amazing.
Yep.
I'm doing really well. TikTok.
You're doing amazing on TikTok. Meanwhile, people who pump out content just getting slammed for nothing, you know? I had to take a break for a bit because videos weren't doing that well, and I was kind of getting confused. I would post a video and it would do amazingly well with thousands of views, and now I post a video and an hour later it has like 100 views, and I'm like, dang, what did I do wrong? Why do you hate me? So it's been, I took a long break from TikTok because of that reason, and because I realized I was kind of basing a lot of my mental health around the numbers, which is not a good thing to do. And when I caught that, I was like, yeah, I should take a break for now and focus on important things. And I did. And it really made a difference because, you know, it kind of made me recenter. And I was like, yeah, numbers aren't the important thing. You know, if only 100 people see what I'm doing, but those 100 people care about what I'm doing, that's all that matters. So
it's the drive-by viewers, and like that does happen a lot with the content. Like we try to focus pretty heavily on the cosplay community, and there's a lot of things behind the scenes that I take a look at too, and I know you do, and that really helps me with bright shiny object syndrome. You know, I even being on multiple, like it seems like everybody has a link tree like that. I mean, it's been around for a while, but it's like the link trees are getting to be like, it's like at least 5, 10, like there's so many links to different things now that are on those link trees. It's like before you could just be on one platform and that was that, but now it's like you got to be on 10 platforms. You have to do, I mean, it's like constant, it's like a job. And that's really hard, especially when something changes or something new comes out, and then everybody jumps off the platform, jumps to another thing, starts making content, and it's like you're constantly chasing. And that's what we're here to talk about today, everyone. More about bright shiny object syndrome, and like in the sense that I'm not an expert, I'm not like this isn't like psychology or anything like that, but that we're talking about like attention and gaining momentum on a platform. When those are draw, it's getting so hard for organic reach. He used to talk about TikTok being kind of like, oh yeah, you can get a ton of reach there. It's really good. LinkedIn, another place where, I mean, maybe not in the cosplay world, but in general, has a ton of organic reach. I've talked about that before, but it's really, it's getting so hard for people who don't have huge production budgets, as we do not here. And there's reasons for that. There's reasons against that, but the idea is to be helpful. And really, we get so into the fandoms and being able to share content, like create it, that we start going after stuff like the collectibles and arts and comics and bobbleheads, figurines. You probably know where I'm coming from with that.
Yes, I do. I jumped headfirst into all of this. I mean, you can see behind me, like It has taken over my room. I got all of this at cons or at places near me, and I mean it's more up there. I have a Doctor Strange statue. I won pop figures for WandaVision, and I have so much just nerd memorabilia, which I'm passionate about because I love it. But it does get to be a lot. You just kind of dive head first, and then you see all these things, and you're like, I didn't know that was an option, and you just start hoarding.
Yes, and cosplays are the same way. I mean,
Yes.
so many shows are coming out on Disney Plus now. Every time a new show comes out, it's like, oh, I have to cosplay that character. I have to find that. I have to. And you start searching for the next, and like Mortal Kombat just came out, and then everybody's like, oh, gotta go find the Mortal Kombat costumes. Gotta go and find, and it's like it's almost like weekly. There's so many streaming services now.
It is. It's hard to get ahead of it too. It's hard to jump the gun and be the first one to have the thing and to be this and that. And I'm guilty of that, mainly just because I'm a very excitable person. And I'm just like, oh, that's so cool. They want that. But I have to kind of reel myself in. And I have to be like, okay, let's think logically, right? Everybody's been doing this. So why don't I look ahead to see what's coming out and plan for stuff down the line? Like there's Loki coming out. There's the new Doctor Strange movie coming out. You have the new Spider-Man coming out. Like you have things coming soon that I feel like it's tough to not fixate on the thing that's right in front of our faces. And I'm definitely guilty of that because I just get very excited about things.
And really just navigating everything and giving people a couple of, I guess, guidelines on how to handle these sort of bright, shiny objects is, just like you said, plan it out. Be choosy about what you do too. You don't have to run after every single trend that comes out. You have just those things that you want to do. You don't necessarily have to look at what everybody else is doing and try and do all of those things. It's a lot. Like keeping up with Cosplay Joneses is really hard to do. And you really don't have any idea like who's sponsoring who, how many people are providing these, or like do they have a team that puts all this stuff together for them? Like you just don't know, like whether the account's small or large, how they're getting all of those costumes, or if it really is like maybe they're running up the credit card bills, who knows. But that's part of it. And the other side of that is to try and keep a budget for your hobby, just like you with any other hobby, budget. So, and that, I mean, that seems pretty straightforward, but when you're in it and you watch stuff and you're just thinking about the next con, the next cosplay, like you're just swiping your card, like you're like, no, I need all of the things. I'm just getting
them. I'm very guilty of starting projects and then not finishing them. I have made a resolution to try to get better about that. So I've been trying to do the thing of like, for every new thing I want, I have to make sure I at least finish one thing. I've been trying to keep myself in check on that because I get very, ooh. And then I'm like a little kid in like a candy store. I just can't stop. I just, I'm like, ooh, Wonder Woman, ooh, Scarlet Witch, ooh, Bucky. It's like, ooh. And it's just, I want to do this, I want to do that. And, I have so many ideas. And then it's like, I'm in college. I look at my bank and I'm like, don't do that. Or, I'll reel myself in because I'm like, yeah, I do want to do that, but I also have these things in the back that I gotta finish first, and I still love those things, but and it's always about what's gonna do well, what's gonna.
And it really is another point to really talk about is that I think there's more and more people who really just they look at something that they will do just because they know it will do well, and they won't necessarily do any of the other things. It would be like you only make, how to lose belly fat videos if you have a fitness channel. Like it usually does well, but if that's all if that's all you're doing, like it gets very samey and repetitive, and it maybe it doesn't serve you very well. So make sure, like in the cosplay world, this is a hobby, this is something that you love to do. Trends. Okay, I'll do this one because everybody else is doing it, because it's doing well. You may not really like it, like
yeah there's been a couple TikTok trends that I just haven't jumped on board with because I feel like they're very either just raunchy or they're not the direction I want to go in, and it's like, you know, there's been some trends that I kind of have drawn the line on. I'm like, all right, let's pump the brakes here, you know, like.
Yeah, just give it a little spin around. Think it through. I mean, it sounds fairly like common sense, but again, we get carried away sometimes with those things that we are passionate about. With that, thank you so much, everybody, for being here with us. Be sure to share the video out, like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Of course, this is ScottyB and Astrovoid Cosplay with the Heroes of Cosplay Sanctuary. We will see you next week. Bye-bye.